Alright guys, chapter 20. Big 2-0.
Where were you? Her grandfather says to Rachel over the phone. I waited for you.
What?
Do you think I have nothing else to do?
What?
She repeats stupidly. Why didn't you call me if you weren't coming?
You were expecting me today? Grandpa, I was working. I work on Thursdays.
I stayed in all day waiting for you.
His voice is thin-edged, cutting.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
she stammers.
I'll see you tomorrow,
he says and hangs up. Rachel stands in the kitchen with the phone in her hand, her heart suddenly pounding with anger and panic. The tyrant, the awful old tyrant. All right, she'd walk with him tomorrow, and then what? Is he going to expect her on Saturdays too? Not Sunday, because he has them all under his thumb on Sunday. But what happens on Monday? And Sundays? And Tuesdays, and every other day after that? Is she supposed to go for a walk with him every day? What was it he said to her? Do you think I have nothing else to do but wait for you? And what about her? What about her life? Yes, a voice jeers in her head. That's the way, you selfish cold heart. Compare yourself to an old dying man. And then coolly the voice reminds her that while she did, indeed, go to work, before she had plenty of time to drive around with her friends, have fun, and kiss Louis in the park. She goes to Izzy's house the next afternoon, straight from school. They walk at a social what does that say? They walk at his snail's pace. He seems to be all right. His breathing is actually better than the first day she walked with him. He doesn't even have to stop to wipe his forehead. Breath for walking, but no breath for talking. What does she expect? Anyway, she's just his watchdog. Arf, arf. When she leaves him, she feels as if she's escaped from prison, and she says to herself, that's it, no more. Ma will just have to get somebody else to babysit him. At supper, her father asks her about the afternoon.
Where did you go with Grandpa, Mouse?
She sighs over the awful nickname and says,
Oh, we just walked around, Daddy. I followed Grandpa. I think he has these routes he's got worked out. He seems to know exactly where he wants to go.
Well, Izzy would, her father says with a smile.
Right,
Rachel says, and sits up straighter to tell her parents that today was the last time she'll be her watchdog for her grandfather.
Ma, I don't want to,
She hesitates. Should she just say it like that or soften it a little? Rachie, her mother leans toward her. It's so wonderful that you're doing this. All day I thought about how you'd be here. You'd be there when he went out walking. You don't know what a relief it is to me to know that you're with him. Her mother's eyes are wet and glowing. Thank you, sweetheart. After that, what could Rachel say? In school the next day, Louis catches her in the hall. Doing anything later? We could go somewhere. Do something. He looks hopeful. They stand by the foot of the stairs, and Rachel tells him about Izzy. Oh, Louis says. Sure. The bell rings, and reluctantly he lets go of her hand. When Rachel approaches Building C later, she sees Izzy waiting for her in the lobby. He's standing straight, hands clasped behind his back, turtle eyes fixed on her as she pushes open the glass door. She's dead on time, but his greeting is so, you finally got here. Outside, a bunch of little girls are practicing cheers in the parking lot.
We are the B-E-E S-T, best. Forget about the R-E-S-E.
Wait, I don't know how this... We are the B-E-S-T best. Forget about the R-E-S-T rest. They get down on their knees, throw their arms up, their voices ragged. Past the little girls, Rachel and Izzy go, up the street, slow, 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 like two ancient lizards. The muscles in Rachel's legs start twisting almost at once from moving so slowly. Maybe she's practicing to be old. This is the way she'll walk when her legs are gone. When she can't get down on her knees like those little girls anymore. When she can't pedal a bike. When she's bow-legged and bent. She thinks it, but she doesn't believe it. Can't imagine being old. A shudder passes over her. She remembers an old woman she saw at the bus stop, bent so far over that her back was parallel to the ground. Izzy turns a corner, crosses the street. Rachel is aware they're avoiding the hills, but otherwise hardly knows where they're going. She follows Izzy. The breath softly whistles or wheezes in and out of his chest. For a while, she works on a story in her head. Then she thinks about Louis. She goes back to the story. Maybe she'll weave in a really nice boy. Tall, thin, narrow, and skinny. What would be his role in the story? Maybe parents wouldn't like him? Or maybe they'd like him so much it would really irritate the girl. Her mind drifts off. It's hard to think this way. And if nobody says anything, she will soon die of boredom. We didn't go down this street yesterday, Grandpa. Mm-hmm. Is this a new route for you? New route? New way of walking? No. Now they are passing Schuyler Hill, and Rachel thinks of Alice Farnham, with the silver sparkles on her cheeks. Grandpa? Mm-hmm. Did you ever speak to Alice Farnham again? Mm-hmm. You did? Mm-hmm. You called her? No. She called you? Mm-hmm. So how was that? How should it have been? I liked her. To this, she doesn't even get an mm-hmm. When they return, the purple-haired woman is at her usual post in the lobby. How was today, Mr. Shapiro? Hello, darling. Did you and Grandpa have a nice walk? Good day. Good day, Miss Batten. Izzy pushes the button for the elevator, and goodbye, he says to Rachel. I'll go up with you. No, you won't. The elevator creaks open. He steps in, the door closes, and he's gone. Maybe he's a dying man, but he's still Izzy.